It was 20 years ago today, not now, Paul McCartney, that I began this crazy adventure. And it's been 20 years since you've been mercilessly putting up with it. Hi there, Jonathan Paula with you again. Don't worry if you don't remember me. It has been a while since I've done something like this. But I'm here today to celebrate the 20th anniversary of this channel. So I wanted to take a trip down memory lane. 20 clips from 20 years. A clip show retrospective of all of my time on this website. But a clip show of videos you've already seen before is kind of boring. So I wanted to put a twist on it and show you 20 clips from 20 years of things you haven't seen before. Unreleased footage, abandoned projects, outtakes, bloopers, and that TV show pilot that never made it to air. You're gonna see it all right now, so buckle in. We're gonna start, I don't know why that was so aggressive. We're gonna start in 2006, 20 years ago. Honestly, not a lot of material here, but one of the first projects I ever did my sophomore year of college involving keyframes was this little gem. If you glimpsed quickly, you might have seen our friend Jory Karen. He'll show up again later, so stay tuned. In 2007, I had the awesome opportunity to be the live in-studio director for Emerson College's morning talk show, Good Morning Emerson. Think the Today Show or Good Morning America, but made by college kids. I was the director. I got to call the shots, direct the talent, the cameras. It was excellent. And in another reality, I might have had that as a career. I might have gone into daytime TV programming, God forbid. Here's a quick clip of my final show from December 11th, 2007.
Ready DDR for entertainment? Roll track take.
Beautiful timing, thank you. How are you supposed to segue into that? You ready?
Open his mic, cue him.
Chance, I don't
Clip
for
wipe.
1 second believe that you like to crochet. I don't know what it
Ready,
is.
2, take.
I'm not buying that one. But how about that
1,
rock
take.
music?
Downstream X.
Canada comes to the Berkeley Performance Center
And lose it.
Wednesday night.
Ready, Y?
Photographers, Chaos, and Bill King's Saturday Night Fish Fry will play at Berkeley.
Is he talking about them?
Yeah.
Take.
Music on American music and popular culture.
Dissolve.
The whole show will be broadcast live in
Ready,
the
loop.
States and on
Goodbye, everybody.
Ready, black.
The whole show will be broadcast
Lose track. Black. Now, roll track take A. Yeah!
I graduated Emerson the next year in 2008, but first I had to drive home from Los Angeles. My buddies Ezra and Joe came with me, and we videoed a few clips over the course of the 3,000-mile trip, which nobody's seen until now.
What's going on, Johnny? Hanging out, European super auto mechanic place, trying to get my brake pads and my tire fixed before we head across the country. Get out of this godforsaken land that is LA.
The Pod Car, Gateway Arch, St. Louis, Missouri. Pretty long video. It's gonna be one of those videos that makes me look like an ass.
You look like an ass in all the videos.
You. Shh. Guys.
Been alive.
Guys.
Been alive.
Guys.
You taking a video?
That video needs to be deleted.
Regretfully, I can't include the original music in this next clip for copyright reasons, but I assure you, if you could hear Robert Tepper's No Easy Way Out right now, this shot-for-shot remake of a montage from Rocky IV would totally work. Joe and I put this together over a single evening in 2009 when we had some free time in our hands, but then kind of lost passion and abandoned the project before it ever got finished. In 2010, this channel was blowing up, and sponsors started to reach out to us, and if you were around during then, you might remember some of them. This next clip is from a collaboration we did with a British YouTube channel called Apartment Red. But they asked us to do like a parody how-to video about surviving the apocalypse. So Jory and I filmed the following.
So let's just say, for an example, that I am your typical flesh-eating mutated zombie, and I'm out for your human brains.
Okay.
And you're like the last known human survivor.
You're the slow type, right?
I am the slow-moving zombie. So I'm gonna go
Okay.
over here, get for a running start, and you have to defend yourself.
Okay, okay. So what I would do is find a suitable projectile, a brick in this case.
No, not a brick!
Right at his private area. Then you find a stick. This one will do. And what you have to do is just sever the head from the torso like that. And that's how you would dispatch with a zombie. And one more kick, and he's all done. John?
After the microwave show ended in 2011, Riley, Jory, and I kept coming up with ideas and little projects we wanted to do together. One of those, Riley's idea, I believe, was a one-off Jogwheel original called Extreme High Five, where Jory would hang out of a truck and Riley would stand on the side of the road and they would high-five each other at increasingly faster speeds. Think highway speeds. And it was reckless and stupid and would have made a funny video, except the camera got corrupted and we lost the most important angle. But I still have some of the footage from the B-roll and from the inside the truck cam, so I wanted to share that with you.
Looks good, soldier! Oh yeah, baby, I am one sexy GoPro motherfucker.
I think we should kick it up a notch. Kicking high fives. Woo!
This is a little faster. You got it. You got it. Come on.
I'm gonna spin around, we'll do a head-on shot.
Head-on shot.
Head-on, apply directly to the forehead. Oh, dang!
Go up to like 100.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100.
Yeah! Yeah! God damn it!
I'm Troy Karen.
I'm Ryan McKellen, and that's it for this episode of Extreme High Five! Woo! I'm done recording.
There's not a lot of content from 2012 you haven't seen. I just uploaded anything and everything that year. I had 3 different channels running full-time, but there was one clip I submitted to Playlist Live, that annual YouTube convention in Florida that is sadly no longer with us. It was 3 facts about yourself, and they played this video in the main ballroom. And as far as I know, that's the only time it ever aired to any audience. So here for the first time on the internet.
With the success of my web show, Is It a Good Idea to Microwave This?, I can honestly say I'm one of only a handful of people in the entire world that makes their full-time living from microwaving things. And yet this piece of crap that's falling apart is the microwave I use in my home kitchen. Doesn't have a turntable, low wattage, thing's 20 years old, literally falling apart. Hopefully I can go to Home Depot soon and pick up a new one, because this is embarrassing.
Here's some footage from 2013 where my wife and I visited Salem, Massachusetts just a week before Halloween. I had so much fun that night I kind of stopped vlogging midway through the evening, and so it never became a video.
Now walking Salem's red line of heresy, which if you went to elementary school, you know all about this. They separated the town of Salem right in half. Everyone on one side of the red line was proclaimed a witch and promptly hanged. Everyone on the other side of the line got a free appetizer at Applebee's.
In 2014, I had an incredible opportunity to star in my own television program, a travel documentary where I investigate conspiracies involving the Russian and United States governments. I do not understand why I was tapped for this, because up until then I was known for microwaving movie reviews and just like everyday family vlogs, but they reached out and I was like, sure, this sounds like a cool opportunity, so let's do it. And it was a great time. I got Riley involved, we went to the nation's capital, we met with FBI agents, I flew to Amarillo, Texas to meet some ham radio expert, and some professional people somewhere in Hollywood cut together this 18-minute like mini pilot and shopped it around to TLC and Discovery Channel and all the rest. And unfortunately, you can kind of see where this is going, it didn't get picked up, but it was a really cool opportunity. And I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to show you this footage, but since nobody else has rights or access to it, I'll probably be fine.
My name is Jonathan Pollard, and this is my buddy Riley McKelwain. If you come across any weird internet stuff, we'd like to know about it. Suspicious communications, leaked government files, anything that we can follow up on and investigate.
All right, so we're gonna walk into the FBI building now.
Yes. But here's the thing, we're going to investigate it with your help. You and millions of others who are reaching out to via social media.
Share it on Twitter. You can retweet it.
Yeah, retweet it.
Oh, hold on a second, something's coming through. We're gonna put it out to Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and all the rest. What people don't realize is that social media is the most powerful investigative tool that has ever existed. And now, we're putting it to work.
By 2015, my annual trips to VidCon and Playlist Live were becoming a bit repetitive, so even though I kept videotaping them, I didn't really share a lot of the footage after I got back. Here's some clips from 2015 that you've never seen before.
VidCon at this point, after 6 years, is just an expensive reminder of how irrelevant I am online video now.
I think I might actually try to vlog today.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
This used to be a theme song for an 80s television show, kids.
basically conned my way into the Rise 9 event. Probably the dopest party I've ever been to. Feels like an Eyes Wide Shut meets Mermaid Land here. There's a woman up there with almost no clothing with fire coming out of her mouth, so that's the kind of party this is. We literally have Oompa Loompas here. I am not making a joke. There are literally Oompa Loompas at this party. I've always been fascinated by empty spaces in public areas. We're at a convention with 20-something attendees and probably another 1,000 security and staff. And here's a room that previously held hundreds for a panel just earlier today. Completely vacant, steps away from the roaring crowds.
And so begins the long elevator ride back to the hotel room at the end of another VidCon.
In 2016, my old high school TV production teacher, Tom Reed, a mentor and one of the big reasons I got into this space, gave me an invitation to come back to my alma mater, Swampscott High School, and present at the annual telethon fundraiser. And it was an opportunity for me to see the upcoming class, meet some of my old friends and classmates that were also coming in as alumni. And here's a quick clip of that night.
Mr. Reed around.
So you should probably, that's enough.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, John. How you doing? It's great to see you.
I recognize it. How you doing? I remember this.
High school cable club is the auction.
We're in the middle of the auction right now. Basically learned everything I know about TV from him, and I'm still doing that today, which is really exciting.
It's great to have you here. We got a lot of great items, and you know how to do it because you did it 12 years ago. Take it away.
And most recently, half an hour ago.
A lot of pressure.
Let's begin with item number 320. I'm running out of anecdotes because this is the third half hour in a row I've hosted. So I thought, why not bring the internet around for a pass, which is part of what I do for a living. I tell stories and talk to the internet on YouTube.
I also would say you should feel proud of another thing, which is that at one point I saw one of your very first videos. You had written a skit, you were really into it, you had some creative, funny ideas and
Sounds about right.
You shot it all in a wide shot.
Oh, yeah.
And I just said to you, John, think about the TV and the movies you watch. They cut between angles. They have close-ups and meet.
And like immediately I got everything I needed to know.
Immediately, just from that one. I mean, sometimes, you won't believe this, but as a teacher, sometimes you tell a kid something and they don't necessarily get it right away, but you got it right away.
Hearing Mr. Reed's voice again is just it's a time trip.
In 2017, during a brief window where it was legally and socially acceptable to travel to Cuba, my friends and I got some education visas and headed south to that gorgeous, wonderful, friendly island in the Caribbean. I vlogged the entire 5-day trip and just sat on the footage until now. Welcome to Havana, Cuba.
We are now at the Castle de Moro, which overlooks Havana Bay here, this wonderful little communist nation. She's not even little, really. It's actually quite gigantic. About the size of Florida, if you turned it on its side. Speaking of Florida, it's only about 90 miles in that direction. I've never been inside a church, inside an old Caribbean fort before. They don't call it the twilight hour for nothing. The only thing cooler than visiting an old Cuban fort on the ocean at sunset is visiting it at sunset when it's completely empty. And the views are incredible. All these pictures I'm taking with the amber sunlight and the empty corridors and all this sort of symmetrical architecture. It's awesome. Took 2 years of Spanish in high school. I don't remember much besides how to ask where the library is. You know me. See a spiral staircase, I can't resist climbing it with the camera out. So, I think we've reached the top.
That's a pretty cool shot.
That is one hell of a view.
There's more cannons!
Oh! These steps are not regulation!
I had my first kid, Emery, in 2018, so I wasn't really able to travel much. So all my friends came to visit me that year, and we stayed at my parents' lake house here in New Hampshire, and we had a great time all catching up. And I videoed some of that, but again, lack of motivation, lack of really interest in sharing some of my private moments with the internet meant all of this footage went unseen until now.
Here we are at Ocean State Job Lot, the place where you can get just about anything you need that has been rejected for some reason or another by a mainstream retailer.
I feel like an astronaut.
Suit him up.
Just getting
ground control to Major John.
Baby's first hike. We're with Mommy and Ezra and Dan and Danny and Jory and Joe.
Don't hit my car, it's a rental!
This road, Mount Washington Auto Road, welcomes you to the heart of the White Mountains and your adventure on the Northeast's highest peak. You are about to embark on a journey that will do more than just take you to the highest summit in the Northeast. You are going to the birthplace of legends, following up a path that leads through time and winds its way through woods, wind, and weather.
He's juking.
Swing, bada, 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 swing, bada!
Don't fall over, buddy. Here we go! Well, gentlemen and ladies, it was a wonderful evening, but I call this meeting of the Midnight Society closed.
I think the last time I did a live stream on this channel was when I was building my new computer in 2019. A Ryzen 9 CPU, GTX 1080 graphics card, lots of RAM, brand new case, and I put the whole thing together on some live streams and some video. And I was going to put it all together for like a nice big, heavily edited time-lapse montage, and I just kind of ran out of motivation and didn't. But here's some of that footage.
There comes a time in every boy's life to upgrade his computer. And for me, it's the third time. Hopefully I don't make any mistakes.
Here she is, the Ryzen 9 3900X.
Wasn't that hard, was it? Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Now we're going to install the RAM Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro DDR4. I'm getting some resistance here and I don't like it. Look at this. Look at this tiny thing. It's not the size of your SSD though. It's the capacity of its megabytes. Oh, Jesus! It's a monster. It's so big. Ooh, look at that. And let's not forget the candy. Wait a minute. Do not eat. Now it is time to install the water cooler.
So there's the pilot peg. He's male. And the bottom of this heatsink is also male. So there's no way to connect them.
Great case so far. Really enjoyed working with it.
You're counting on your red, white, and blue. Here's the computer. It's looking good. All the cables are tucked away very nice.
Okay, moment of truth. Hey, looking good. That is progress. 1 terabyte, that's 4 total. 1 more terabyte, that's 5 total. I think we built ourselves a computer.
By 2020, I had my second child, Josie, and I was finally itching to come back to YouTube. And every now and then, I would turn on the camera and talk to it, announcing my triumphant return and tell you where I've been and get you caught up. And then I would kind of chicken out and decide I don't want to do that. But here's a clip of one of those times I turned the camera on for an update that never was.
My hair is a little out of control because I haven't had it trimmed since before COVID, before the fall of society, before the dark times, before the empire. I'm not saying I'm going to make more videos because I haven't really stopped making videos because I do this for a living. I don't know if you know that or not. I make videos for a living. I'm doing this like every week for a real job. And I kind of ran out of passion or desire to do it for the YouTube because I wasn't making money there anymore. And quite frankly, I can't dump a lot of the time I don't have into something to produce money that I do need. So it's kind of an easy decision to make after my girls were born to kind of forget all this. And I don't really miss it, if I'm being honest with you.
Midway through the pandemic in early 2021, my mom came to visit and brought over a huge box of all my old Nintendo games. And having no real interest in playing the original cartridges since my emulators were working fine, I decided I would spend my lockdown selling them on eBay. And I cataloged all of it with spreadsheets and photographs, and I was trying to get as much profit as possible. And I think one of these days I'll do a full how I did this and what made the most money video. But for now, here's a quick glimpse of that process.
Going through storage, I finally found what I was looking for. The old Nintendo games. Most importantly, this, which many of you told me is worth $1,000 now.
All right, I put the first video game on eBay, Paper Mario. Listed that 5 minutes ago, and it sold 3 minutes after that.
The last time Playlist Live was ever held was in 2022. And while I was on site, I was interviewed by Anchor, which I believe is a now defunct podcast producing platform. And since I was one of the only white men in attendance that did not yet have a podcast, they interviewed me about what I would do if I had one. Here's a clip.
Welcome to the podcast Fortune Telling booth by Anchor and Spotify. My advice would be, or what the podcast gods are telling me, is if you care, other people will care. So I think I'd potentially advise you to, like, I'm curious now, what takes up your brain space? What keeps you curious? What do you care about?
I have two main passions in life. My children and movies. And that's pretty much all I do every day is hang out with them and then watch movies at night.
Okay, I think I have...
I wonder if I could find a joy or a passion that intersects the two. Maybe if I just talked about kids' movies. I do that a lot. I watch a lot of kids' movies. Sometimes without my kids present. I'll just be like, yeah, I'm going to watch the 4th Air Bud movie by myself tonight because that's how I enjoy to spend my evenings.
In 2023, I was feeling that itch again, interested to come back onto YouTube and Twitch and do live streaming programming for you in the vein of Mystery Science Theater 3000, where I would riff aimlessly and poorly on a bad movie from the 80s and 90s. Here's a quick clip of me doing test footage for the film The Dark Side of the Moon.
Thank you, dear.
Creepy. Another HR write-up.
Jesus!
I didn't know. You could have told me.
Sorry. Discount Gandolfini doesn't know when to talk to women. Everyone else on this ship is a walking HR nightmare. And the one guy that's not is like, I'm afraid to tell you about my allergies that could kill me. Like, what if a bunch of riffraff who didn't really get along together were on a dark ship in space and then bad things happen? It does not feel particularly original.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly, because you made the movie anyway.
They must know we're here.
Fortunately, we do.
Will y'all look at that?
Ooh, split diopter.
In 2022, and again in 2024, I had the opportunity to go back to Emerson College as an alumni and present on stage at the Majestic Theater in front of a crowd of 1,000 people the EVVY Awards, their big student-run, Oscars-like production where they award folks in radio, TV, music, art, and more. And getting to put my suit on in front of the lights and present to a live audience was such a thrill and just an honor to be invited back to my old college.
Jonathan Paula, a professional YouTuber since 2006 with more than 1 million subscribers, currently works as the director of multimedia and event production. Please give a hand to our next presenters, Jonathan and Christy.
In an era where the boundaries of storytelling are constantly being pushed, these series have risen above the rest.
These shows are the ones that succeeded in both concept and execution to create the best overall program. These are the nominees for Outstanding Field Television Series. And the EVVY goes to Monsters on Set.
Last year, I got really close to uploading a big episode of Movie Night dedicated to the Final Destination series. I got really far along, but the edit was taking so long that by the time I almost finished it, the movie had been out for 3 weeks and nobody cared anymore. So I'm like, forget it. I was only going to make a few bucks from it anyway. And I think one of these days I definitely will finish it because I spent a lot of time on it. But until then, here's a quick clip of my version of me getting killed in the Final Destination universe for the cold open intro sketch. And keep in mind, this is still a rough cut. I never did have time to finish the visual effects.
All right, where's that pry bar?
All we are is dust in the wind.
And that brings us to today, 2026. I am back on YouTube. I am actively producing new content again. For the last 4 weeks, I've been uploading almost nightly on the John's World channel my Super Mario Galaxy Let's Play. And I'm having a ton of fun with it, so I encourage you to go check it out. And also, later this week on the Movie Night channel, I will be sharing my box office predictions for summer 2026. I upload so sporadically that when I do, I hope you at least get that notification and come by and say hi again. I still read all the comments. I really, greatly, deeply appreciate that you have been here for 2 goddamn decades. I can't believe it. When I did a retrospective like this in 2016, I ended the video by saying,
I don't know if I'm gonna be here in 10 more years. I'll be 40 by then. But here's to the future.
I haven't gone anywhere. I'm just taking long breaks between uploads because this is no longer something I need to do. It's something I want to do. I'll tell you this though, and this is a promise. If I'm still alive and healthy and YouTube is still a website in 2036, I will see you then as a 50-year-old man completely out of touch with whatever this website turns into. Until then, thank you so very much for watching, for listening, and for all the rest. It means a lot. It's completely changed and shaped my life in ways I cannot articulate. And I'll be forever grateful for that. So thank you. Enough of the mushy, sentimental shit. Hope you have a great night. I will see you next time, and I hope that's pretty soon.
Does it still count as a vlog if I never post the thing? I guess we'll find out. If you're watching this, the answer is yes. If the year is 2024 and you're watching this, the answer is maybe.